Hey everyone out there, my name is Dean. I want to tell you today about the Jazz Guitar Video Masterclass Volume 2 that was done by jazz guitarist Chris Standring. Now, I've actually reviewed the first volume, so hopefully you can find that here and check it out. But basically, the second volume focuses specifically on something called Chord Melody for jazz guitar players. So before I even go any farther, if you haven't checked out the first volume, you definitely want to do that. These Volume 1 and Volume 2 work together beautifully because where he's going at with the second volume is probably the penultimate definition of playing your guitar. And what I mean by that is that if you can play chord melody, you could probably do anything with your guitar. And I really mean that, anything. Chord melody is not easy by far. I'm not trying to scare you, but it isn't something that's very easily done. But there is a very simplistic way of approaching it so that it isn't that daunting of a task to try and accomplish. With chord melody, it's very similar to like when you play piano, how you have the ability to produce more than one note at a time. Horn instruments, tend to produce one focus note at any one time. So what guitar players do is they can play a single focus line too. But here's the thing: you have the capability of harmonizing that note, and if you're jazz, of course, it's all about the harmony. So with chord melody, it's an approach to playing guitar where, let's say, you're using the top two strings of your guitar, right? But with some sort of harmonized accompaniment, and then you can use the lower four strings of your guitar played all at the same time, and that's chord melody. One of the best chord melody players was a jazz player named Joe Pass. He played a lot of different ensemble formats, and when he decided to perform solo, the guy just kind of became this like wonder key and took off, and we started playing all these great chord melodies. And thanks to him, we have this whole body of work to study that is really focused on chord melody. And the reason why I bring him up is because Chris Standring, the author of this course that I'm talking about, he really focuses on the Joe Pass chord melody style, which isn't a bad thing at all, because if you're gonna focus on anything, why not focus on the guy who did it the best? And arguably, I think he was the best. I've listened to Joe Pass; he's amazing. I've been really into jazz lately. Jazz might not be your cup of tea, I get that, but if you really want to learn your instrument of guitar, playing jazz you can't get any better. You really can't. Also, too, I should mention that chord melody is usually played in a solo jazz guitar context, or duo with like bass, or trio with bass and drums. Not usually with piano, because then it just gets really messy with harmonies. But in a sense, I'm not saying you don't need a piano if you're doing chord melody. I mean, piano is always a welcome addition, but it's very complex to organize. So when you're going to learn how to play solo jazz guitar, and you really want your guitar to sing and hum and be full and rich, chord melody is where it's at. But again, not easy to do. So with his lessons, he's going to show you things like, first of all, how to warm up, get your fingers going. Again, in the other class that he has, some of the exercises he had were very innovative. These ones he has for chord melody were very fun to do. Some like I knew most of them, but at the same time you may not, and I think that you'll have fun doing them. Also, too, he jumps right into doing things like 3 simple chords. He talks about how you can think of every chord as being related to one or two or three simple chords. I thought that was cool because Joe Pass also had that kind of thinking, and he wanted to keep things simple. Again, to get to the idea of playing something simple, you have to go through a lot of complexity. So it's not like you're going to learn some master secret here that's going to just automatically make you play simplistically any way you want. It's a process, but the process will lead you eventually to be able to look at playing your guitar in the simplest way possible, if that makes sense. Also, too, he's going to show you things about like the 2-chord, how to look at minor chordal sounds, things that I love. I love dyads. I think dyads are awesome. And he's going to show you all the various practical ways to do it all across the fretboard to help you play melodies on top of those chords effortlessly. Show you tons of melodic examples so that you will have a reference point, so that it's not just talking about that and you're like, well, what's he talking about? You're going to see it in action, which is great. Also, he does it with the 5-chord, the 1-chord. He'll give you 2-5-1 examples. That's a 2-5-1 chord melody idea. Not that easy to do, but again, he'll show you how to spice up your dominant sounds harmonically so that you really stand out. And again, what's really cool with all these is you're going to see exactly what he's talking about because it's all on video. And if that wasn't enough, you can go back, you can study the videos. He gives the tabs for it so that you can actually learn it yourself. And he has 100% money back guarantee. So if you're still not convinced after trying it, or it's just too complicated, or it just isn't for you, he's okay with that. He's just going to let you have tried it, and more power to you. I think that's really cool. And also, too, he usually breaks his courses down into two parts. First part is showing you all the different examples like I mentioned. There's a lot more, but those are just some of the highlight ones. And then the second part usually shows you songs that incorporate all the things he's talked about, and he'll show you step by step how to do those songs. You study them all so you can see everything you've learned right there in action with some of the best songs that have been put out there in the past years. So very, very, very cool how he has it set up. And also too, I should add, Chris has been doing this for so long that this is very natural for him, and he's aware of that. He's aware that you might be somebody who's just getting into jazz, or somebody who's been playing jazz for only a few years. He's done it in every type of form, from recording to being on stage to just playing by himself to improvising, like on a stage at a bar. I imagine I can totally see Chris doing that. Don't want to speak for him if he hadn't done that, but he's definitely done all the other things. And he understands that not everybody is going to be at his level, and that's what I love the best about his classes. They're I don't want to say they're dumbed down, because I'm not trying to insult anyone, but I'm saying like he does it in a way that I think anyone can really understand it, and I think that's cool, especially if you play guitar and you're proficient enough to do a lot of basic chord structures all up and down the fretboard. This is going to kind of insert itself right into what you're already thinking, and you're going to be able to play very proficiently. I love it. I think Chris is great. I love his Play Jazz Guitar series. All his classes are wonderful. The Jazz Guitar Video Masterclass is definitely by far one of my favorites. The second volume taught me, no pun intended, volumes. And I really, really, really appreciate the fact that it's out there, and I think you will too. But hey, do your own due diligence, as I always say whenever I do any type of reviews for any type of musical products especially. I'm a musician. If you're a musician or you want to be a musician, you should check it out for yourself. And I want you to do that right now just by clicking the link below this video, and you can see for yourself what I'm talking about, or visit it directly at trapix.net/jazz2. Once again, that's trapix.net, trapix.net/jazz2, JAZZ, the number 2, all smushed together. Okay, so trapix.net/jazz2, or click the link right below this video. And hey, if you click the link, by the way, you'll be entitled to some special offers, and hopefully that will do you well. Good luck to all of you out there. I wish you nothing but the best success in your musical playing. I know you're going to do great, and you will do even better if you check out what Chris has to offer with his classes. I guarantee it. I'm sure he guarantees it. I think anybody who has even half an open mind at playing music on the guitar will really benefit from this course. I know I did. I've been playing for 20 years. I found something. If I can find something, you're definitely going to find something, okay? So click the link right below this video and have fun with it. And good luck to all of you out there. I wish you literally nothing but the best success. You will get there, I promise. Take care.